Welcome to Up to the Minute. It's December the 8th, a Wednesday, middle of the week. Good to have you with us on the show. I'm Todd Duplantis, and we got your HCC news and information for the next half hour. Stick around. We've got a couple of special guests joining us on the show. First things first, Dr. Tony Rayos-Sutherland is my co-host this morning. Tony, good to see you. Bit of a dreary day outside this morning.
Yeah, it is. It's got that wintry, let me be inside, read a book type of thing.
Yeah, it's a little strange out there, but hey, it's winter in Texas. Strange things can happen. It's going to get up to the 80s, they say, by Friday. And over the weekend, it'll drop back down to the 40s. So for those of us trying to stay healthy, it's going to be as difficult as possible because the temperature will keep trying to change. So one thing for sure, we are live every morning at 10 a.m. On Facebook Live and YouTube. And you can always catch us here when HCC is in session. And you can catch the rebroadcast on HCCTV at noon and 5 p.m., Tony, as well.
And you can look for Houston Community College District on Facebook, not just HCC, Houston Community College District. You can also find us on LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. So yes, there are many ways to find us.
Okay, we're going to go ahead. We're going to go ahead and check in with you in a little while. Tony, check your microphone because it sounds like your the mic is a little low. You might be using the internal mics. You're going to be interviewing this next guest. It's Small Business Wednesday, and we've got Marshette Turner. She is the director of the Minority Business Development Association, Mbda. Good morning to you, Marshette. How are you?
Good morning, Todd. I am well. Thank you so much for asking. How are you?
Well, you're doing good. You know, we're always promoting your luncheons and your programs you guys have coming up, so we're excited to talk to you. Stick around. We'll be checking in with you probably in about 10 minutes or so.
Absolutely.
All right. We are going to get to our first guest this morning. You've seen her on the show before. She's been on The Topic as well. Dr. Helen Graham is the interim academic dean, HCC Liberal Arts, Humanities, and Education. Good morning to you, Helen. How are you?
I'm well. Thank you. How are you?
We're good. Good to see you here. And you, we've talked about this before, but you are one of the people brought in working on the Sugarland 95 case. And we've talked about it several times on the show, but for people that maybe go, wait, I think I've heard of that. Could you briefly just bring us up to date on what this is all about? And then I want to get to your update because you got something cool that you did over the past few weeks.
Sure. So in February of 2018, Fort Bend ISD was erecting the James Reese Tech Center on one of their properties. In the process, they unearthed a mass grave that contained the remains of 94 men and the femur of one woman. All of the individuals are of African descent, and they have been named the Sugarland 95. They were all part of the convict leasing system that took place in Texas up until 1911, and they worked on in the sugar fields out in Sugarland. So these are the 95, the Sugarland 95.
And one of the things we've talked about this before as well, but we need to note some of the crimes that these people were convicted of are really outrageous. Maybe you can talk about a few of those and some of the things that these laborers were convicted of and then placed on these farms to work for the sugar company.
Right. So the majority, so we first have to understand what the Black codes were. So after slaves were emancipated, we're talking Jim Crow laws and the Black codes that criminalize Black behavior or Black individuals. So individuals, African Americans could be arrested for talking too loud, for spitting on the sidewalk, for not giving a white woman a wide enough berth on the sidewalk to walk through. They could be arrested for what's called vagrancy, and that simply meant that they were unable to prove that they were gainfully employed. Vagrancy consisted, it happened among whites as well, but only Black individuals were incarcerated for that. So the majority of individuals who, of the Sugarland 95, the majority of offenses are theft, but reading some of the superintendent reports, theft could consist of garbage. There were 3 individuals actually convicted of theft. There was lamb's wool that was placed in the garbage, and they took that thinking it was garbage, and they were convicted of theft. There was one individual, not one of our Sugarland 95, but he was released from prison. The prison guard had given him fresh clothes to leave. And as soon as he walked out of the prison gates, he was rearrested for theft of those very same clothes. So we're not saying that all of these individuals were innocent, but we do know that many of the crimes that African Americans were convicted of were outrageous, as you said earlier.
What years are we talking that this system was in operations?
So we're talking from 1878 to 1911.
To 1911, and that's when things changed. Did they change because of the times, because of the fact that we were maybe going to war and people were being sent off to war at that time? Were there reasons why the system stopped? I'm
not exactly sure why the system stopped, but I know why the system started. So after the Civil War, the country was decimated. The state of Texas and the prison system lost massive money. And so leasing out convicts to private individuals and industries was a way for the state to recoup revenue.
Let's get to the update because this is fascinating. You've had a chance to speak with an ancestor of one of the individuals. Maybe you can tell us about how you found this person, and what they had to say.
So actually, they found us. So Fort Bend ISD and the researchers on this, we produced a report called Back to Bondage. The report is almost 500 pages long. So Fort Bend ISD did a summary, a pamphlet, and they sent that to like 15,000 households in the Fort Bend area. Additionally, the Afro-American Historical and Genealogical Society, the Houston chapter, of which our very own Sharon Bruno is president of, posted the summary on their website, and that garnered national attention. So the individual who contacted us lives in California. So she contacted Fort Bend and said, hey, Ben Dixon, one of your Sugarland 95, is my relative. And so she reached out to us. So I did the genealogical work on Ben Dixon to link him to, I found his mother and his sister, and I found him in a census record with 3 other individuals. And so I asked his relative in California, are you familiar with these 2 individuals? Because one of them was a boarder. And she said, yes, those are his grandparents. And so from there, we were able, through genealogical research, to link him to his family who's still in Lufkin, Texas.
And the family member you were able to interview, you met in person, also did a Zoom interview as well?
Yes. So we went to Lufkin. We interviewed Mr. Goldman Dixon, who is Ben Dixon's great uncle. We were able to interview him, and the stories that he heard circulating throughout the family about Ben Dixon corroborated what we were able to find through archival research.
You know, it's amazing what we can get nowadays with the advent of the internet, being able to do some research online, but also connecting through the genealogy connection as well, being able to find these ancestors. Do you anticipate finding other ancestors as well?
Yes, and we have. There were 2 other ones that we found. We've not contacted them to interview them, but there are 2 others that we found as well. And with Ben Dixon's relative, we will go back next week to collect, our geneticist that we're working with will collect a DNA sample, and we will compare that sample to Ben Dixon's sample that the University of Connecticut is analyzing.
Amazing. Dr. Graham, if people are watching now and they want to know more information, where can I access these reports? Is there one website or a couple of websites that you would direct them to?
Yes, the Fort Bend ISD website, and you can just type in Sugarland 95, and they have an entire website devoted to that.
Dr. Graham, you're doing some important and amazing work. We appreciate you joining us, and let us know when you get some new updates on this. This is a disturbing, a terrible story of our history, but it's something we all need to know about. We all need to learn from.
Definitely, will do.
Thank you, Dr. Graham. Take care.
Thank you.
All right, we are going to turn things over to Dr. Tony, who is going to bring us up to date with people. We are always promoting the MBDA, and it's great to talk with a member of the MBDA right now. And you've got an interview with her, Tony.
Absolutely. We've got Marshette Turner. Can you hear me? I hope.
Yes.
Hi, Marshette. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing fine. You are the director of the Minority Business Development Association, or MBDA, as we always say.
Yes.
Now, as Todd was saying, we regularly spotlight the business plan competition. And also, it's part of the district's entrepreneurial initiatives program. And so we are very happy to have you with us. And I think this is the last one for this year that we get to interview you, but we're going to do it again in the new year. So this is just, you are the cherry on top, as they say.
Well, thank you so much. I'm delighted to be here.
Now let's talk about the MBDA. People talk about missions and visions, and sometimes mission and vision gets confused between the two, but tell us, what is the mission of the MBDA?
So our mission is to foster growth and global competitiveness of U.S. businesses that are minority owned. And so in doing that, we want to make sure that we are reaching out to and connecting with minority business owners here in the Houston area who are looking to do business with the federal government.
Okay. And the vision,
well, our vision is very simple. Yeah, it is economic prosperity for all American business enterprises. And so, it's real simple.
Excellent. Well, now, how do you see the MBDA? How do you see it has impacted the minority-owned businesses?
I think we are in a very unique position. First and foremost, because we are the only federal program that helps to grow existing minority-owned businesses here in the Houston area. And then on top of that, we are one of over 40 business development centers throughout the United States. So I think the MBDA in particular, we have a vantage point because, number one, of our federal funding. So as you know, the Minority Business Development Agency, we are a federally funded program housed out of Houston Community College. And again, I think our unique advantage is being that federally funded program because we can, again, assist our clients in securing government contracts, if you will.
That's wonderful. And but now you have your own story about all this. Tell us a little bit about that.
That would be about myself, are you asking? Or
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Story.
Yes. I have been doing this work for about 25 years now. So it's certainly not new to me. It is a passion for me. And I tell my team who are in the room currently, at least some of them are, that, this is a job you can't do if it's just a job to you. You've got to bring your passion into this work because you're dealing with people and you're impacting and affecting their lives. And so for me, again, over 25 years in this space, so between nonprofits and government, it's been a combination of about 25 years. This work for me started when I was in Chicago. I'm a native Chicagoan.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been in Houston
Welcome
now.
To the South, to Texas.
Thank you. I've been here now for 6.5 years. Yeah, it'll be 7 years in June.
So we've adopted you, right?
Yes. Houston is now home, and I have, the family that I left in Chicago, I sort of picked up in Houston.
There you go.
Yeah, they may not be, biological family, but you can't really tell. So it's a good thing. It's a good thing.
So, how you've now, have you had your own business and all of that? How do you connect that way?
Yeah, no, I've not had my own business. Well, I can't say I've not had. I did own a small laundromat.
Okay.
And it was connected to a convenience store.
Okay.
And my former husband and I, my son's dad. So we did that for about 18 years.
Wow.
Yeah. And so
That's a long time small business.
Oh Oh,
which
yeah.
is what you want.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it did really well. And again, you have to be positioned for that kind of business. A laundromat and a small convenience store are something you have to be in the right area in order to attract. So we were fortunate and blessed enough to be in a very good area in Chicago and have folks to, really come and support us in our business.
So tell us a little bit about subs and sandwiches. That's something that we promote a lot on this show. And tell us what you guys do with that.
Yes. So our subs and sandwiches program, or platform, as I like to call it, because we're giving corporations and companies the opportunity to tell our members how they can do business with them. So let's say I am J.E. Dunn Corporation. And I say, okay, I want to be a part of subs and sandwiches. J.E. Dunn is already one of our corporate partners. And so we would put them on and they would literally go step by step as to how our members can do business with the J.E. Dunn Corporation. And so I'm telling them not just to go to a website, but I'm giving them my contact information, office phone and email. I am letting them know that I'm available to assist them. Because, many times when you log on to these webinars nowadays, they just, go to our website. People don't want to go to a website. They want to talk to a physical person because they have questions. And just going to a website is not going to really benefit them in any way if they don't have a person they can pick up the phone and say, hey, I'm stuck. I'm on your website, but I don't know what this means. I don't know where to go from here. And so we provide that one-on-one kind of services, and that's what that Subs and Sandwiches platform does. It sort of opens up avenues of connection and engagement between MBEs and corporations.
I can't tell you how many times I've heard, go to the website. I'm on the website. I need to talk to somebody. Okay,
absolutely.
Very good.
Absolutely.
So now you have also the Salute to Minorities in Construction Luncheon. Tell us about that.
Yes. So that is where we highlight and sort of honor, if you will, our minority business enterprises who have done exceptional work. We are saluting them because of the work they've done, because of the passion they've put into it, because of their growth over a period of time. So we're saluting them for the hard work they've done. Because fact of the matter is, when you think about MBEs in business, how many of them, number one, we don't know about? But number two, how often is an agency taking the time to say, hey, we value and appreciate you for the work you've done, and not just because you're a member of our agency, but because your business is thriving and growing, and you are really getting out there and letting people know what you do and gaining contracts and gaining momentum in your business. And so we want to salute that. By that same token, we are actually changing from a luncheon to a gala. So in 2022, it will remain a luncheon. 2022, it will remain a luncheon, and it will be in June. However, in June of 2023, we are going to all get all dressed up and fabulous, and it will be an evening gala. So I will certainly make sure you all have the information on that, because we want your participation. We want you there. You can do some on-the-spot interviews if you like. So it will really be something fantastic. And the reason... the reason I wanted to do that was because it will allow more families to come together.
When we have the luncheon, so much fun. Yes.
Yeah. When we have it as a luncheon, sometimes a husband and wife, both of them work. Well, the wife's at work. She can't necessarily get off. Her husband's being honored, or the kids can't come there at school, or whatever it is. And so we want to just really sort of celebrate and have you able to have your entire families out to this event and just sort of grow and go from there.
Well, tell me, now we're so happy that we can actually talk to each other physically much better than we did before. But how did you help the minority-owned businesses during the pandemic?
Well, one of the things we did, we partnered not only with the Small Business Administration on their EIDL loans and what was the other loan they gave out?
Oh, there were so many.
The emergency disaster. Yeah. So we partnered with them, but then we also partnered with other organizations to sort of team up and get physical resources like food and medicine and clothing and that kind of stuff to folks as well. So we've done, I think, a yeoman's job during the pandemic of just sort of getting out there and being a resource, a viable resource to people in their time of need. Because as you know, so many people, they lost their job during the pandemic. Yeah. And so we were collecting canned goods and making sure that we were really out and about trying to assist as best possible to just sort of, again, get resources to people in their time of need.
So real quickly, where is Mbda headed?
We are headed to bigger and better. We're currently working with the City of Houston's Department of OBO, Office of Business Opportunities, and we're trying to expand our footprint. Currently, we focus solely on construction, but we want to expand our footprint just a little bit. So we're looking to delve into that whole architecture space because that's a part of construction. But we want to sort of see what that looks like for our agency.
Well, that sounds wonderful. We really do appreciate all the work you do. You help us all out. You help the small business. You help us all.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being on the show with us. We really, really appreciate it. Marshette Turner, Director of the Minority Business Development Association, or MBDA, as we say. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It was great being on.
All right. Thanks, Marshette. We'll have information on the MBDA, some links in our social media post after the show. Okay, on to our news and announcements. We got a few things to talk about this morning. Number one, On the Edge Dance Films. That's right. Don't miss this presentation of student-created dance films overseen by Maggie Lasher, who is the artistic director. 7:30 p.m. Wednesday, December the 8th. That's tonight, 7:30. We'll have a link in our social media post and how you can check it out. We also have a branding academy that's available for our students and for folks as well, Tony.
It's called Take Control of Your Brand. Do-it-yourself branding for small business continues its sessions at the West Houston Institute. And they teach you everything about how to work your images, your text, your colors, what you need to do to catch people's attention when you're branding. There's a how to create an innovative digital marketing strategy. That's 8:30 to 10:30 and 11 to 1 p.m. Friday, December 10th. That's coming right up. And then there's a website design 101, they call it, 8:30 to 12:30, Saturday, December 11th. Both of those are coming right up. So register so you can, and we'll give you the information on how to do that after the show.
Okay, in-person graduation. Yeah, the commencement is happening in person next week. That's right, at NRG. And we're proud to be a part of that. So you can salute our graduates. A number of activities student life has going on. Right now, there's congratulatory messages you can post for them. And we'll have a link to that in our social media post. But make sure we'll also have a live stream of the graduation, and it's happening a week from tomorrow. So more information on that to come. There's a drama production happening. I know you're tied into this, Tony.
Oh, absolutely. It's going to be 7:30 p.m. Monday, December 13th. I mean, it's already been produced, but we're having an encore performance, you might say. Just go to Virtual Arts Center YouTube channel. The play is called Everyman, and it seems like a lot of people have really enjoyed watching that. It's kind of deep, but it's also a lot of fun to watch.
All right, we'll have a link to that in our social media post. There's a mental health support group. It's the holidays, and it can be a stressful, emotional time for many of us. A lot going on between wrapping up the semester and getting ready to hang out with family, travel across the country, a lot of those things, and it can stress you out. The counseling department at HCC is offering a support group. It's happening next Wednesday, 3:30 to 4:30 p.m., Wednesday, December 15th. They're asking you to register ahead. You can drop in, ask a few questions, listen a bit, but it's going to be there for you. And we'll have a link in our social media posts and how you can do that. Spring registration. It is here. Spring 2022 is almost upon us. And Tony, you can register now for it.
Absolutely. We tell you to register now because if you want the class, you want to get the class you want to get, you need to register now because classes are small because of COVID restrictions. But you know what? You can get class all kinds of ways. We have online anytime. We have online on a schedule. Hybrid, in-person, hybrid lab. There are so many ways. And there's so much financial aid out there to also help you get it. So register now at hccs.edu/now.
All right. Okay. Register early, register often, as they would say. Make sure you just register for spring 2022. Okay. Tomorrow on the show, we've got Ronald Esposito, Program Coordinator of HCC's Paralegal Department. And it's Family Fun Day as well, Tony.
Yes, Rice University's Twilight Epiphany Sky Space. I can't wait to go see that. I mean, it's been there, but it's a structural spot where in the yard, and it's very pretty, and they have all this kind of light show going on along with the sunset. So it's going to be great to check that out. That
sounds pretty cool. Yeah. So we'll talk more about that tomorrow. All right. Tony will be back tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow. Remember, join us live, 10 a.m. Catch the rebroadcast at noon and 5 p.m. on HCCTV. We'll see you tomorrow on Up to the Minute.